Hey guys, this is Dr. Aeronautics. My most favorite and most traveled and most knowledged route has finally been built for Train Simulator. This is the Amtrak Northeast Corridor from Washington Union Station to Baltimore Penn Station. So I just learned of its existence today. I'm recording a video to critique the route along its entire length from beginning to end. I have route documents in front of me. I have uh, train spotted on this route since I was 4 years old. I have ridden this train, or ridden all three trains that go on this route for fun um, numerous times. I have official route documentation in front of me, and I have helped contribute to a photo tour of this train. So I am going to scrutinize the heck out of this route for every minute detail, and we'll see what comes out of it. So here we go. We're going to start. So I have not opened this route yet. I literally just learned of its existence. Okay, so let's read a little bit about this, shall we? Amtrak's Northeast Corridor is a crown jewel of American railroading, and the bustling southern portion of the NEC from Baltimore, Maryland to America's capital city now comes to Train Simulator 2021. Good. Train Simulator's Northeast Corridor, Washington, D.C. to Baltimore route recreates a corridor from Washington Union Station to Baltimore Penn Station, a distance of 41 route miles. 136 to 96 is 40 miles. Those are mileposts that are counted. Washington Union Station, one of America's most grand and beautiful rail stations, is second only to New York City on the NEC in passenger arrivals and departures, and historic Baltimore Penn Station is busy as well. All correct. With the corridor hosting Avicella high-speed trains and regional long-distance services, Washington is a busy and vital operating hub for Amtrak, located nearby Washington Union Station Arcade Tower, yes, which governs the train's movements in and out of the station, yes, yes. The Amtrak Coach Yard, the famed Ivy City, home to facilities which provide state-of-the-art support to Amtrak's high-speed train equipment, that is the Acela Express, and that is all correct. Between its namesake cities, the Northeast Corridor, Washington, D.C. to Baltimore route passes through open pine country typical of coastal Maryland, that's correct, and crosses rivers including the Anacostia, Patuxent, and Patapsco. All right, the line is primarily triple track, which it is, and of course it's high-speed territory with trains up to 125 miles an hour. Between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, the corridor hosts two Amtrak stations, New Carrollton, Maryland, and BWI Airport, Marshall Airport Station, yes. The Northeast Corridor also serves the Penn Line commuter carrier railroad, Maryland area regional commuter MARC. Oh my gosh, we're about to get MARC trains, guys. We're going to be able to drive MARC trains in Train Simulator, which operates additional stations at Seabrook, Bowie State, Odenton, Halethorpe, and West Baltimore. Odenton is also home to an important Amtrak maintenance away base. That's true. Few are the cities in America with stronger or deeper connection to railroad than Baltimore, and Baltimore Penn Station is a remarkable structure built by the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1911. The station now rests near the north portal of the historic Baltimore and Potomac Tunnel. The B&P Tunnel takes from 1873 and stretches more than 7,600 feet in length. Yes, the Train Simulator Northeast Corridor, Washington, D.C. Baltimore route includes a variety of contemporary Amtrak equipment, including the Siemens ACS 64, Amfleet 1 and 2 passenger equipment, stylish and fast Acela, and the passenger equipment suitable for Amtrak's long-distance trains. For commuter service, an unbranded MPI 36PH-3C and Bombardier multi-level equipment are included. I wonder if that means that they had some issues with lights, Mark. Either that or maybe they're trying to push it out. Either way, that makes me happy. So hopefully they took off the speed limiter on the MPI 36H-3C. I guess I can review that as well. As long as the speed is not limited to 75 miles an hour, because I've been on one of those up to at least 112. It's time to climb aboard Amtrak's high-speed Acela and flashy ACS 64 Speedster to experience American passenger railroading at its best with the Northeast Corridor Washington-Baltimore route for Train Simulator. Looks like we've got 5 scenarios and 3 railfan modes. Let's see what we got here. 41 route miles of the route, Washington Union Station to Baltimore Penn Station, Amtrak yards and shops at Ivy City, Amtrak New Carrollton and BWI Airport stations, line side commuter stations, Amtrak Acela, Amtrak ACS 64, Amfleet 1 and 2, Amtrak long distance train equipment, unbranded MPI 36 H-3C Bombardier multi-level commuter equipment, 5 career and 3 railfan scenarios. So guys, that's it. This is so important to me that I terminated an uplink of another video. Never ever do I do that. So, Baltimore is at milepost 96, and we're at milepost 136.6. So that gives us a difference of oh my gosh, I can't. I'm so excited. 135.6 minus 96. That gives us 39.6. So there's about half a mile difference because, well, really at 5. Yeah, that checks out. All right, guys. Here I go with my prying eye. Okay, so here's the H Street Bridge. The Hopscotch Bridge is not here. The Washington H Street streetcar is not simulated. Wow, this is real. This missing roof is real. Oh my gosh, that's a very, very high plus. The Greyhound buses aren't simulated. Up top, yes, this is right too. That's exactly how the inside there's an escalator bank that carries people up to the parking garage. I cannot see the Washington Monument, but there is the Capitol building. That's exactly where it's supposed to be. These are pretty good. These covers, I think these are supposed to be glass all the way through. First Street Tunnel, let's see. Looks pretty good. We're not lit up there, but I mean, technically we're not supposed to go this far because that's where the route ends. That's good. Oh my gosh. These catenary posts are exactly as they appear in real life. I cannot believe it. This is supposed to be a parked MARC train, and I guess this is the unbranded MPI 36H-C. Oh my gosh. Can't believe they had. Hope MARC lets them use that package. Okay, so this is the Washington Metro Rail Red Line, complete with third rail. And let's see what it looks like going down. Yep, you go under the building. It looks just like this. And then you go into a portal towards the Union Station. Station of the Red Line. That's correct. This building, I believe it still exists. This track exactly appears this way. This all looks good. K Tower is exactly where it should be, which means this is track 16, which should not go all the way to the back. And that's simulated too. Okay. Doing a track check here. This is track 8, track 9. Wow. Yeah. Okay, track 7, track 8, track 9. Track 10. I don't even have to call this out before. 13, 14, 15, 16. Not sure what's going on here with this extra track. Although I think I do remember one of these tracks had an offset buffer. Okay. 20. Then 20, there's a little bit of a hill. You have to come down to the lower level tracks. And the last track, I believe, is 30. So let's count that out, shall we? The detail level drops down here, which can be expected. 20. So this is, there's no track down here. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And if this track had been removed recently, that would make 30. All in all, I say that you some graphics glitches here. I don't know if that's me or the game, so I'm not going to talk about that. There used to be a turntable there. I think this used to be the traverser, and they just converted it to like a storage unit. This is really, really good. I say this is 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic job. This is here in real life. And I guess to see the rest of it, we need to get going. So the train that I'm in bears a striking resemblance to Mark's GP40 WH-2, which is why I'm actually not concerned about using it. And it behaves the same way too. It has high-speed gearing, and the cars look a lot like the Nippon Sharyo cars from Mark. So think about it as we're exploring in a Mark train. All right, guys, let's roll. I'm going to be assessing on 2 levels. One level is realism of the track infrastructure, and the other is realism of scenery being simulated. Okay, out of the gate, speed limit is 15 miles per hour, and that is correct. You know, one thing that I forgot to check real quick was the bumper stop signals at the bumpers. Yes, they're there. Absolutely fantastic. And I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but no, I do not drive trains for a living, and I have not ever been leading a train at the controls. I have been at the controls of an NEC train before, when I was a kid. Okay, here we are in our somewhat similar, again, you know, uniquely branded. This kind of looks like Holden Barn here. So we should go right down to 5 tracks on the ladder track. Good. Yep. Speed limits look good so far. So this is going to be Signal Bridge H. Wow, those signals look really realistic. Still showing 9.5. Okay, this pole right here, it does not look like that. That crane, gosh, that crane is there. It really is. That's crazy. And here is the, this used to be the New York Avenue Metro Rail station. It looks exactly like that. I think it's called like Noma now or something. Yeah, Noma Gallaudet University. This is the WMATA red line right here. That looks good. So this building here is REI, and it's kind of shaped like a barn, not like this. So that's a little bit off. Now, on the right, I should be seeing milepost 135 very soon. Let's see, we've crossed, and I wasn't paying attention, we've just crossed Signal Bridge J, which puts the speed limit at 20. And then once you cross, J goes to 20. No, H it goes to 20, J it goes to 45. So that agrees. Still looking for milepost 135. I like those glitches. Oh, we got a milepost of some sort. It doesn't look like it's labeled right now. Here's the New York Avenue underpass. That's looking good. Oh, come on now. Why isn't that showing up? What's going on here? Okay, well, it is number 135. I don't know why it's not showing up for me. That's too bad. That is A+. That is exactly where it is. So in other words, I can use the guide here. So we're 45 miles an hour. I don't know what speed limits they're setting these things to, but it might be because the Northeast Corridor has 5 different types of speed limits depending on what type of train you are. Whether you carry baggage cars, you carry freight, you're a normal train, you are a ACS 64 or an Acela Express. Wow, these catenary posts look almost exactly as they do here, except maybe this should be probably a little bit shorter, but I'm getting a deja vu feeling. That's 9.5 on the catenary here. I'm not even paying attention to how fast we're going. Okay, so this is the Brunswick Yard switching off, and here's the red line going up on its bridge, and the Ivy City Maintenance Facility over here. And this building is here. It looks a little bit different than in real life. This building should be a few more stories higher. That signal bridge is there. That's good. We're approaching CP Avenue now, and at CP Avenue, the track used to change to 85, but I'm not going to argue with it if it's at 95, because the version that I have is from a little bit of time ago. It's from like 2000 something. Okay, this is CP Avenue right here. This is where the Metropolitan sub joins the Capitol subdivision. And still, everything looks really good. Just the amount of foliage we're expecting. Okay, now what does the wire do when it gets up to the bridge? It doesn't. Okay. Can't grill in on that. Alright, I believe these are the Acela maintenance facilities and the coat shops over here. There should be one more. Yep, bus lot is there. There's a little bit of new construction here, so this looks a little bit less gas station-y and more yuppie. I think we're missing a turntable here. This might be cheating a little bit. Yeah, so there should be a turntable right on that track. Still maintaining a solid 9.5. Okay, this is where the CSX Capitol subdivision switches off with the Northeast Corridor, and we're still looking good there. Over there is New York Avenue that will become Route 50. And guys, I will slow this train in areas that I am extremely familiar with to scrutinize even more if possible, because this track is so well detailed that if I'm not careful, I'm going to rate it a 10. Now, it may very well deserve a 10, but I want to make sure it does deserve a 10. Good. Underpass, and that's New York Avenue again. So yeah, 125 is the current speed limit. That's correct. And then there should be a signal coming up pretty soon. And then there's a curve at Landover that I believe is 100. These buildings are right here. We should be getting a milepost right in here just to check. Yes. I don't like that they are labeled in real life with numbers. But, I mean, good luck trying to read them, right? I have to freeze frame it when I'm recording in real life. There's an ACS 6 and 4 with a short number of cars. It's generally 7 to 8. I believe we just passed under New York Avenue, which means we're going to cross the Anacostia in a minute now. That signal bridge is where it is. And this is US 50. Okay, those signs are wrong, but, you know, hard to read. US 50 is upgrading to a 4-lane thoroughfare at this point. Good. Another mile marker. And let's see, the Anacostia River. Yeah, pretty close. The trees stretch just a little bit further out. But yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, we're coming up to the Alexandria extension. Not yet. Yeah, that's right. This is the Baltimore Washington Parkway, 295. I still say 9.5 on that. We should be coming up to the Washington Metro Cheverly station. Okay, there is the Alexandria extension. That bridge is a 10. Nothing wrong with that. US 50 exactly where it should be. Columbia Park Road. Here is the Cheverly Metro station. A+. Everything looks good here. That's a 10. Okay, here is the catenary coming on. I see it's the not fully realistic catenary. You know, it looks pretty good, but it's not perfect. But it's enough to give me that twang that, like, hey, you're really doing it. Yeah, it sure feels that way. There's the Metro Orange Line flyover. The CSX Landover subdivision is coming on now. Yeah, that power line is not realistic at all. That should look like that single catenary pole, and it joins up right there. So this must be the upcoming curve. Yes, the curve for 100 miles an hour. That's still as it is. So something tells me that these guys got a hold of the same document that I have right now. And oh my gosh, the curve is simulated properly, not as it had been incorrectly in all the previous train simulators. And I'm noticing the gradients. I don't have a gradient document, but I have access to a train library that does have them. But at this point, do I even check? Here's the Landover Metro station, and it's an island just as it should be. Oh my gosh, and even the entrance is correct. 10. Okay, we're coming into New Carrollton now. And my goal is to drive the train so that I can appreciate the route for what it is. Not necessarily stop, you know, and do all of that. Okay, so this is East-West Highway, and they're supposed to be building a purple line here. Now, I'll see if that gets simulated, because that's going to appear within a year real time. Here is US 50 eastbound towards its interchange with the Capital Beltway. And we're coming up to Carroll interlocking now. Here's the station of New Carrollton. The purple line should be coming down over there. And currently the thing is under construction. Now we're slowing down to 45. That tells me that we're coming up to a crossover. That bridge is correct. New Carrollton, pretty good. Pretty good. I say 9 out of 10. I see that station a lot. The Metro Rail station looks great too. So now we're entering the Metro Rail yard. I see the purple line is not simulated in any way whatsoever. But that's okay because that is not existing yet. There's the Washington Metro yard, and that looks good. Now there should be a retaining wall right here. That's not simulated. So the retaining wall not being simulated is a big hit. That might be a 7. Now, we're entering Carroll interlocking right now, so we're probably going to switch over. And yes, the pond is simulated. Very good. Very good. We're about to pass under 495, which is the Capital Beltway. Let's see, 50 miles an hour. Yes, Carrollton Landover has the 50 miles per hour restriction on track 1. This is correct. And then the curve at milepost 126 is 105. So the speed limits that are showing up are the A speed limits, the ones for the high-speed trains. That's correct. And then there's another one at 125 for 105. And the speed, yes, on track 1 between 125 and Carroll is 110. Infrastructure is a solid 10. I can't break it. This is amazing. I would love to meet the people who did this because, you know, it's realistic. Okay, this is Route 450 coming up, and then 564 has an underpass right here. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, you can actually see the NEC right here when you're driving Route 564. I really wish. Ooh, street light time. Street lights. That's not what the street lights look like, but at least they're orange, which, well, now they're being switched out for ugly white ones. Okay, we're on the curve to Seabrook now, and I'm going to slow down at Seabrook. Let's see what Seabrook looks like. And this one's going to be interesting because this is a mark-only station, and it doesn't look like they've got permission for the mark branding. So we'll have to see. This is Carter Avenue that we're going under now. Let's see. There should be more trees here. Yeah, Seabrook needs more trees. That's a shopping center up there. Got the gradient. Gradient's good. Yeah, these poles are here in real life, but they don't look anything like that. There's only one level to them. Good. Pretty good, yeah. 2 shelters. So I think the railings are painted bright yellow, but that was a new addition. Of course, it doesn't say, it should say something like Mark, and under that it should be Seabrook. Yeah, there is an there is a tunnel, but there's the... no? Okay. So these tunnels, there's a ramp, but then there's also a stairwell. And I don't see the stairwell here. 8 out of 10. Streets look good. Yep, 8 out of 10. Let's see, there's an 84 lumber yard here. Whoops, I still got the brakes on. That signal bridge is where it's supposed to be. Yeah, the most annoying thing so far has actually been the dimensions of the PRR catenary here. I actually have a copy of the master document that explains how to build a PRR catenary. Let's see if I can find what that document is. Because you might be able to actually search them. And we got the pine trees. Yes. A mix of pine trees and oak trees. Oh my goodness. See, this makes me think that they actually, this makes me think that they took the, they opened something like Landfire to see what the actual tree types were. Okay, Folly Branch is a stream valley that we should be passing over right now. And it looks like the depression is simulated, but there's no creek at the bottom. There should also be a retaining wall here, but that's kind of hard to see from the train. So that's another thing that's keeping us at 9.5. Okay, here is Maryland Route 193. Yep, it's a divided highway. That looks good. Okay, we should have a somewhat abandoned siding over here come on from one side. I'm gonna have to skip on that document there. So yeah, we're still at 110. That's correct. 110 between 107 and 125. That's just come in. There's the next curve is south of milepost 120. That's just north of the Bowie train museum. Let's see here. We should have a dead-end street here, Hillmead Road. I can't see. What? Hillmead Road dead end. Okay, good. Yes, that's it. That's it. And it looks exactly like that. Okay. Now we got a subdivision over here. And then we should have another stream valley. This one should be New Stop. Alright, so the game crashed. I got out of memory, and that's on me because I'm running a 32-bit version. I can very well run the 64-bit version, but for the sake of this review, I'm going to keep them equal. But, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. You know, we've got very good coverage on the southern end of the NEC. That leaves a gap between milepost 96 and 1. So there's a 95-mile gap on the NEC now with this. It's fantastic. Ooh, that's not realistic. That should be in the woods. There's no building there that looks like that. Okay, the neighborhood, good, that's falling off. Then there should be another stream valley. This is where we crashed. Coming up to milepost 121, and I can see the signal. Yeah, I don't see the stream valley. So that's a minus. Trees are good. Okay, here is the Bowie Y, and it's kind of dumb how PRR designed this because you can't get over to the Y there. This is all realistic. Okay, the north leg of the Y. We're coming up to the Bowie Train Museum right now, and that is absent. That's a little bit unfortunate. Looks okay, but kind of annoying that that's absent. Okay, good. There's a milepost 105 for the curve south of milepost 120. That signal bridge is where it is. You can actually see that from Bowie State, which you should be able to see Bowie State any moment now. And there it is. And that's Maryland Route 197, which is just coming to view. Milepost 120 is exactly where it should be. And guys, a train simulator that finally has all the stations where they should be. That is exactly where the Bowie State station is. Okay, I forgot to mention the Jericho Park substation. Was that? Okay, yeah. All right, Bowie substation. That's what I meant to say. Now there's another substation over here for Jericho Park, and that's simulated as well. There should be, yeah. Actually, there should be 3 power lines here, but that's fine. That's a 9.5 to 10. To get a 10 from me, you have to stump to the point where I'm like, I don't know if that's right or not. I can't find anything wrong. That's a 10. And I am so good with directions that I was giving adults, I was telling adults how to get back on the highway when they ended up in my neighborhood when I was 5 years old. I know that sounds ridiculous, but if you know me personally, you would know that's true. Okay, yeah, steps here at Bowie State Station, and the curve around looks exactly like this. The railroad, or the thing curves with the tracks. There's a T again here. Yep. Bowie State gets a 9. And all this trackage got torn down. I actually have a picture right here of the NEC. You can see all along the stretch near milepost 119. I'm going to do another quick save here, and then we'll get up to speed again because we're pretty much going into the woods. Guys, the trees look fantastic. There's pine trees where there should be pine trees, and oak trees where there should be oak trees. Especially around here. This is the Patuxent River swamps. There's a couple of gravel ponds out this way. Yeah, there's a gravel pond that's simulated. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. And that hill is there. We're coming up to the Patuxent River, and those power lines are there. This stretch through here is a 10. I can't determine anything that's wrong. Let's see what the Patuxent looks like. Make sure this is simulated properly. Okay, the Patuxent needs more trees. It's got lots of trees down. But pretty good, pretty good. Even got that fun. Okay, the curve at milepost 117 is 95, and then there's a 105 curve at 115 and 116.5. Ah, the cut. This is simulated too, and it's simulated correctly. That is, this catenary is over here, and the tall one is to the east, and it's single track. This is correct too. So now I'm looking for one more 105 mile per hour curve showing up, unless they're bundling. They might be bundling them as one curve. And then at milepost 114.3 and 113, there should be a 95 mile an hour speed. All right, so we're going back to 110. Oh man, I should have loaded this up during the summer. Because during the summer, this would look so much better. Okay, coming up to Little Patuxent River here. Wait a minute, no. That's wildlife food. I know that. It's wildlife Okay, I've been stumped, so 10. There's the little Patuxent. That's Piney Ocean Parkway. Still looking good. Yes, and there's our 95 friend. Now, I believe this is coming up to Stony Creek here. We're about to enter into Piney Orchard and Dovetail. This is another Okay, we're coming up to the O yard. Yes, there it is. That's the lead into the MOW or maintenance way yard. That pretty thing over there. And I'm going to start slowing down for Odenton so that I can strip it. Okay, we're getting a gap in trees on the left. And this is actually due to new construction. These will be houses, so good on future proof. That good. Oh my gosh. I had to figure out what's causing these graphics glitches because it's kind of like this is the only thing that's upsetting. So this is the town of Odenton, and for the most part it looks correct. Houses are dense, they're middle-aged, they've got a mix of 2 levels and 1 level. Pretty good. And yep, here's that feeder line. Now, Odenton has a PRR. Oh my gosh, they have the PRR shield. Odenton's a 10. This is amazing. Okay, crossing under Maryland Route 175. Okay, good. Parking lot over here, and there's some new construction coming up. Oh my gosh. Looking at the satellite image from this, and oh my gosh, it is raw clay. The entire field is orange, and the ponds, the construction ponds, are so orange they look like lava. I can see Maryland Route 32 coming into view. Still looking good on the trees. I should probably save it. There's been a lot of 10s recently. We're inching up towards 9.6, 9.7. This is a really, really good route. I think this might be the best route I've ever seen so far. And that's saying something, especially given that this is like the track that's on default in my mind. Right here. Okay, this should be Grove interlocking right here, which means our speed limits are going to go to, no, we're still milepost 107 to 125 Grove is 110 over here, yes, without braking attack. But I think I've seen enough of the speed limits by this point to know that whatever they're using has got to be the same document as mine. That is the employee timetable. Because I haven't found anything wrong with anything so far, and things are so meticulously where they should be, that the only explanation is that we have the same document, which is good. Very good. milepost 111. This does not affect our side. Actually, this doesn't affect any of the 8 speed limits right here. Okay, Maryland Route 174 bridge, and we're coming up to Severn. There should be another substation at milepost 110, just around the corner. Now, there's actually a pedestrian tunnel that goes under here. This is like old Canton Road, right here. Yep, the tunnel goes right under there, not simulated, so that's minor detail. There's a substation. Good. And next is Maryland Route 100, which is a divided highway, and then we might be able to see some planes if it's simulated as much as I am hoping. There is a swamp that is to the east. I think I can see that coming into view. Yep, there it is. That's looking good. We got a freight yard to our left. That's good. Milepost, there it is right there, 109. And next is going to be Dorsey Road, Maryland Route 176. Exactly as it should be. Okay, yes, now we've got the curve heading into milepost 108. Okay, now very soon we should be able to see BWI runway 1028. And there's a curve at 90 because we're now on still 110. First curve south milepost 106 is 90 miles an hour. That's actually going to get me. I'm going to have to start slowing down with that. Okay. Runway approach lights for BWI runway 10, and there it is. Exactly as it should be. And there's Aviation Boulevard 170, and then this is going to be Stony Run Road, right? Yeah, Stony Run Road. There should be a bit of a trail at. Okay, dead end road for. This is Old Stony Run Road when the system was converted to high speed. They got rid of all the level crossings here. Okay, here is the milepost 106 curve, and this looks good. I can see the BWI parking garage now. And this is going to be the part that I love the most because it's not simulated correctly in Train Simulator. So it's like all of a sudden it's like, whoa, 102, 100, start slowing down. Whoa, it's the curve at Frederick Road, and all that's not right. I'm hoping that we can see something right, and I'm really hoping we can see the Gwynns Falls Bridge and the deceleration happen just perfectly into the B&P tunnel. Yes, that's a swamp pond, that's there. Okay, BWI Airport. Yes, the station lamps are correct. The architecture's correct. That looks correct, although I don't see the Amtrak logo. Yep, the new station facility here, the bridge, the parking garage, the retaining wall, 10. A 10. Ooh, a southbound MARC train. Milepost 106 right there. And here's a swamp simulated right here. One of the pictures I took for one of the tours was here. No culvert simulated, but what do we do? Let's see. Exit ramp for 295. This is 295 northbound. This is the Baltimore-Washington Parkway again. This is 295 northbound to 195 southbound into BWI Airport. That's the main highway into the airport. And we just crossed under 295. And here is 195 southbound to the Baltimore-Washington Parkway southbound. All correct, including this very large hill. Okay, we've got an approach medium now, which signals potentially another track switch, and that might be at Winans interlocking or Winans interlocking for track 1 for a potential stop at Carrollton. To the Maryland Route 195 bridge. Guys, this thing is acing my grill session. I can't even wait to try out the Furnace Avenue. I can't even wait to try out the scenarios. If they're as realistic as the as realistic as the scenery, for all I know. Okay, Tapsco River coming up. Yeah, that looks good. And the 895 toll road, we're just going under right now. And next is the CSX Capital subdivision. Followed by, yes, alternate 1. Everything is looking good. I know where I am. This is the part in Train Simulator where I would be like, okay, where the heck am I? You know, and have to rely on the mileposts as indicated on the route monitor because they're incorrectly signed. Coming into Hillthorpe now, Southwestern Boulevard, which is actually Route 1. Yes, US Route 1 is right here. Yep, that's exactly what it is. We're going over to, let's see, 45 or 60. Ah, so not track 1, track A for 60 miles an hour. That's correct. This track is precisely signaled correctly. Halethorpe Station is exquisitely detailed. They got the canopies right, shaped exactly like that, colored exactly that way. The pedestrian bridge is signaled exactly that way. Holy cow, did they get the fence? They got the fence. I'm running out of air. Okay, coming up to Ridge Avenue. Alright, we're past the interlocking, so we should have a 60 mile an hour. It's supposed to be until you clear the interlocking. I think they revamped the NEC signaling because I think the signaling has been correct. It's that good. Coming up to I-95 now, heading in towards Baltimore. And if the signals are not the signals, the scenery, if the scenery is signed far enough, we should be able to just see the Baltimore City skyline. Not yet. I'm really excited about that because I've never seen a correct Baltimore City skyline in Train Simulator. I'm getting hyped. Okay, Sulphur Spring Road, Undergrade Bridge, that's coming up. Heck, at this point, things are so realistic, I can just turn the route monitor off because they're realistic. It's almost less about not being able to tell where I am and more about not being able to tell what's wrong with where I am. We're at 9.7. Beltway. All right, now that's new construction. Yes, they had very recently added lanes to that bridge. That had changed between 2017 and 2020. So that bridge is even realistically super. Oh my gosh, the amount of time that it must have taken to put this together is just incredible. I almost feel bad for scrutinizing it. Although I have to say, it is absolutely acing. If it had even been a 9, I would have been surprised. We're at a 9.7. I have absolutely no concern that Gwynns Falls is going to be properly simulated. We're now entering Baltimore City. Finally got back to 60. That's a little bit off there. Still on track A though. Now we're coming up to when we get close to Frederick Road. There's a yes, the 55. Perfect. Exactly as ordered. Okay, US 1 bridge right here again. Avenue in Baltimore. Now we're coming up to a cemetery. Oh my gosh. They got the tombs, the gravestones. Okay, the Frederick Road S-curve is coming up. So, yep, milepost 100. Which means we are now 75 is the maximum speed limit. We're on track A, so things will be simulated slightly different speed limits. There's a curve south of the bridge. All right, there's a little bit that might be wrong with the speed limits coming. Okay, yep, Frederick Road Bridge. Everything is good. And next we should be able to see Gwynns Falls. Another correctly placed signal. My level of trust has gone up exponentially. So we're like, I can stop paying attention to certain things now that I know it's not going to be messed up. That signal tower's there. Okay, here's the Gwynns Falls Viaduct. Oh my gosh, they even got the rocks in Gwynns Falls. Gwynns Falls Trail, somewhere. Close enough. The row houses in Baltimore, yeah, they look kind of like that, but they're mainly brick. So that might be an 8 out of 10. That's a little bit less. Okay, Gwynns Falls, Parkway, crossed over already. Coming up to the West Baltimore MARC station now. Franklin Town Road. And next is going Narwick Avenue. And we're going to cross Franklin and Mulberry, which carry west. Okay, let's see. Now this is a 30. So this is a little bit early here. But it could be because we're on track. Yes, track A is 30. That's correct. Everything's good. West Baltimore, 10. That's exactly what it is like. Okay, we're going to see some really quick changes now. So we're going to feed into the main line here, and the overhead catenary is going to disappear. Man, if only this thing went all the way to Philadelphia. Oh my gosh. I would be on this thing all the time. Okay, the Edmonston Avenue Bridge, which we're coming up to now. There should be a little bit more foliage coming up on the left. There's a pretty thick, well, it's a They tore it up a little. Alright, so what I have here shows that this curve is 50. Maybe they were able to get it to 55 until technology. So I'm not going to contest that. Okay, full curve is 40. But we are a little bit more trees here, but this is a 9. Now we should be going down a little bit more. There's a bluff here. There we go. And then the fullest tunnel for B&B coming up. Oops. Oh yeah, that looks really good with the walls and everything. Yep, that looks good. Now here's a real question. Do they have the interior lights in? Yep, a bridge, and they got the lights. There's a downgrade here. That makes sense. I never really thought about that either. Now let's see, did they simulate the jostling being an old tunnel? Maybe a little. Okay, we should have a skylight. Yeah, I can see that coming up there. Yeah, got the fence and everything. That's right. That's right. Then you should be able to see straight to the next skylight. I think I'm also hearing some echoing, which is some really nice sound effects there. And we're on the downgrade to Jones Falls. Now here's the real question. Do they have the Jones Falls conduit? That's something that I've simulated outside of Train Simulator as much as can be seen. If they got the Jones Falls conduit entrance down, we'll see what happens to the break. Let's see, on the third one, there should be a little bit of a twist in the line to the right. Yep, and Charles track 4. Charles is the interlock. When we get to the end, I am going to go all the way up the line, see if I can identify the interlockings as they are correctly named. I think we can. And this one up here should have a little bit of rafter ribbing spanning the top. Some old rusted iron ribs that, like retaining ribs on the top, but it is still a skylight. Yes, yes, and you can see the light filtering down. And I do hear the smashes of the train chain. I feel like I've relearned to be in the tunnel. This is exactly what it looks like. And this is one of those sections where I happen to be in the cab of an operating train. And it does have that little bit of a stop to it. Okay, here's Baltimore. Milepost 96. Okay. Jones Falls Conduit. RUC. The light rail tracks coming down. Sort of. A little bit. Okay. That's not good enough to increase the score, but that's really good. All right, let's see. This is the Baltimore light rail track coming down here. And it's on its own system. It does not interlock. It's also got a buffer that comes in a little bit earlier than the rest of the tracks. And here's the question. They have the old... Looks like somebody did a little bit of a renovation. Station. It's a little bit older than this. But coming up to the Union Tunnels now. Unfortunately, this is the end of the line. I wish it kept going because, oh my gosh, it's such a good thing. Don't you want to just... All right, this is it. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the interlockings next. Oh shoot! This is going to end the game. Well, we'll reload. It's going to be okay. Tunnels. They look good. Okay, I've got the employee timetable open now. So we'll start at Paul, which is at 95.2. There's milepost 95. This is looking good. Baltimore, then Charles. Yep, interlocking. Then there's a John Street opening in the B&B tunnel. Well, I guess those aren't marked because they're already marked by the tunnel. So then, yeah, Fulton interlocking and then Bridge. Yeah, there's Bridge. Edmonston. Yeah, that name may have gone away because of West Baltimore. Possible. Like I said. So, Edmonston should be just before West Baltimore. Gone. That's Bridge. Not seeing Edmonston. That's okay. It's a short distance. We got West Baltimore. Next is Frederick Road. Let's see, that's not marked. But it's not an interlock. Yeah, it's not an interlock. We'll skip straight to Winans. That's the next interlock. Yes. And then Grove is the next one after Winans. Yep, Grove. And then Bowie. Yep, Bowie. Carroll. Got that too. And Lando. There's Lando. And then CP Avenue. I suppose F interlocking. There's CP Avenue. F interlocking. Oh my gosh, it's like saddle. We'll need to check out all these yards because those are going to be exciting. We've got the Rhode Island Avenue Metro Station. There should be a little bit of a, yep, that fifth track going in there. And that's the First Street Tunnel there. Absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, my score is 9.8 out of 10. That basically means 90% of what I know is in this simulation correct. 2% of what I know is not simulated or is simulated improperly. We're going to be on this route lots of times, probably for all of the special scenarios that exist, and I'm probably going to be playing this non-stop for a week. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review, and I hope it's been useful to you guys. I know there's at times where I'm like, oh my gosh, this, that, and it just it's probably going to fly over everyone's ears. This is the best review that I can give it, and it deserves, like I said, it deserves the amount of attention I gave it, because being able to score 98% on everything that I did, in my mind, it's incredible. Having ridden the line for fun since I was 4 years old. Well, guys, I will see you guys next time. This has been Dr. Aeronautics, and thank you for joining me of this review of the Washington D.C. to Baltimore route add-on for Train Simulator 2021. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.